Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Hassler with Nutricost, and I'm here with Kelly Linder, a yoga teacher in Lehi, Utah. Kelly, It's great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Before we kind of get into the yoga stuff, outside of yoga, what are some things that you're maybe passionate about?
Yeah, I mean, my first go-to answer is anything outdoors. I love hiking, camping, walking is my personal favorite. And then, I mean, yoga is a really big thing in my life. So that as well. But
I sometimes struggle when people are like, what outside of exercise? Like, I really like exercise.
I know. I'm like,
there's
I don't
different
know.
kinds, right?
I know. I spend so much time doing it. So
And I used to hate on walking a little bit, but I actually,
What?
I know I would get bored because I have
What?
very bad ADHD,
That's
but I've learned
That's
to
okay.
really appreciate it. And I just love being outside anyway. So
Okay.
I love walking now too.
Okay. Awesome.
What made you interested in pursuing yoga as a career?
Well, I mean, how I kind of got started is, I kind of hit rock bottom with my life a little bit, and I needed something that I could call mine. I was introduced to yoga by one of my really good friends, and it kind of was just uphill from there. I started practicing. When I was first beginning, maybe just once or twice a week, and then it slowly started building up to 5 times a week and now every day. But it really pulled me out of a pretty dark place, and it gave me a lot of hope through the power of movement with the body alone, but also the spiritual practices that yoga brings as well.
Yeah. Would you mind just talking a little bit more about how it helped bring you up?
So there are some guidelines that yogis will live by, and they are called the yamas and niyamas. And so basically it's do's and don'ts of life, right? And so for the do's, a lot of them, it's contentment, purity, self-study, self-discipline, things like that yoga teaches you on and off of the mat. Finding those guidelines really helped me for someone who was lost and just trying to find my way in this world, learning those guidelines that yoga teaches. Because it's more than just asana is what it's called, the physical practice of yoga. It's more than just that. It's about this whole grand scheme of things.
So the asana is the physical aspect.
Yes.
And then yama
which
and
is
yama. What's the second one?
Yes, it's Sanskrit.
Okay.
It's a dead language.
Yeah.
It's like Latin,
I'm very
basically.
rusty, so.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yamas and niyamas.
Okay.
So
niyamas.
yes,
There we go.
the yamas are essentially just the don'ts, right?
Yes.
It teaches nonviolence, things like that. And then the niyamas are the do's. So those are the guidelines.
Awesome. So we'll get to this later, but
Yes,
I was going to talk about.
I could dive into this.
Yeah, we'll get into it a little bit. We'll get there.
Yes.
So what are maybe some common misconceptions about yoga? First of all, how long have you been doing yoga?
Ooh, I've been practicing, for like 2 years now. I started in high school, and what's beautiful about yoga is you can practice it wherever in the comfort of your home, which is what the beauty of that video that we did, so that people can do it wherever they want. But I did it in high school. I practiced it in high school, fell away from it for a little bit, and then I found it again about like 2.5 years ago. So yeah.
Okay, so 2 years in the most recent iteration.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
perfect. So in the last 2 years,
Yes.
As you've grown kind of in your knowledge, what are maybe some misconceptions that people have about yoga?
The biggest thing is that it's the physical practice.
Stretching.
Yes,
Yeah,
stretching, essentially.
yeah.
People will come to me all the time and they'll tell me that I'm bad at yoga. And I have to tell them there's no possible way to be bad at yoga. You can simply clean your room and clean your house. And if you're doing it in a mindful, intentional way, you can be practicing yoga. Meditation is yoga. Breath work is yoga. And so that's the biggest misconception. And truly, there is no possible way to be bad at yoga.
Right.
Everyone has to start at some place.
Yeah.
So
So I've done a few yoga classes, and I was actually, this is one of my questions is I feel like I'm doing yoga wrong.
No.
Because when I do yoga, I go and I stretch. I'm very competitive about it.
Yes, it's okay.
And I'm not great at the stretchy things. I'm not super limber. Some of the strength ones I'm better at.
Yes, absolutely.
Fairly
Arm
strong,
balances. Mm-hmm.
Right? But then after I finish yoga, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to work out.
Yes.
I feel like I've done something wrong because that was the workout, right?
Right.
And what am I misconceiving?
I'm going to tell you something right now.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's not a workout.
Okay.
It's not really designed to have you burn calories, right? That's not why it was designed. It's
that makes
to
me feel
help
way
you.
better,
Yes,
honestly.
yes.
What's it to help
Yes,
me?
it's to bring you back to the center of yourself, to your why. And that's why it was designed, so that you can connect the breath work. I mean, I'm sure if you've taken yoga classes, you hear the teacher saying, inhale to this, exhale to this, right? So we connect that breath work with the movement as well. And asana means to take an easy seat is what it's called.
Okay.
So it's basically, how can you get into these postures, into these poses, and find ease here? And you can relate that to any other position in your life. How can you be experiencing anxiety or depression or stress with your work or relationship or whatever? How can you be there and take an easy seat? Yeah. So you can never be doing it wrong. The only way that you can be doing it wrong is if you're hurting yourself.
Okay.
If you have a good yoga teacher, that they should be giving you different modifications so that you're protecting the knees and the back.
Right.
But other than that, there's no possible way.
Okay. So long as we're being safe, we're doing it right.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
You talked a little bit about mindfulness, which is great because that's what I was going to talk about next.
Okay. Perfect.
What role does mindfulness play in your yoga practice?
In my yoga practice, I mean, it really kind of just depends on the type of yoga that I'll be practicing that day. For example, if it's yin yoga, you will be holding the poses for anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. Wow. It's directed to stretch the fascia in our body. For that, it's very slow paced, very meditative. And so for that, for yin, I will bring in, if on the days that I'm feeling a lot more anxious and I need to slow down, that's a great practice that I'll do. If I do feel like I have a lot more energy in my body and I need to expel some of that out, I'll go for more of a yang class. So rocket yoga, power yoga, just a good vinyasa. But listening to your body and understanding, okay, I need a slower practice today. Or, maybe I do have a lot of anxiety that needs to come out. I'm going to go for more movement. That's how you can bring in mindfulness, is listening to what you need in that moment. Because once again, it's not a workout. It's not to burn more calories and to be the best yogi there is, So that's how I bring in my mindfulness, is listening to myself.
Okay. And when you talk about the difference there, vinyasa and rocket, you're moving through the movements faster. Is that
no?
You're not holding them for 2 to 5 minutes in that case, right?
Yes, it's just different types, different origins, basically. Vinyasa allows for a little bit more of creative freedom for teachers. Rocket, It is a very fast-paced class, a little bit more intermediate. They teach you how to do some more of those harder arm balances and stuff so that you can deepen your physical asana practice. But rocket yoga follows a strict sequence of poses. So
when you talk about being more of an intermediate, what advice would you have for new people who are new to yoga?
Mm-hmm. Just get started. I mean, you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? With anything that you're wanting to start, anything that's going to be new, it's going to be hard in the beginning. I mean, I went to my first yoga class and everyone was just doing these crazy, crazy things. And I was so insecure about myself, but I kept showing up for myself every single day, over and over again. And that's when I was able to experience more of what yoga truly was. So continue showing up for yourself on and off your mat every single day. It's going to look different. I mean, even some days when I practice, my yoga is awesome. My asana is great. And I feel strong and flexible. And then other days, my muscles are locked up a little bit more. I feel weak. I feel down a little bit. So continue to show up.
Well, Kelly, it's been great having you here. Where can people come and find you in person and as well as online if they want to follow you?
Yes. So you can follow me online on Instagram at kelly.linder1. I will post my community classes there. For right now, I'm just teaching for community classes, whether it's donation based or even sometimes some free yoga classes as well, to be able to offer it to people who wouldn't normally attend. Sometimes it can be a little intimidating for people going to studios. So this way it offers a little bit more of a good environment for new people who are wanting to start out. So you can find those community classes and donation-based classes on Instagram.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It was great having you here.
Thank you.